watching on brassband.com, then welcome, and hopefully welcome back. If you're a first-time viewer and you've never seen anything about brass bands before ever, welcome to you. And if you're a future viewer, if you're someone who's watching this up on YouTube, maybe wildly into the future, maybe it's 2017 when you're watching this, then it's great to have you watching back with this live stream of the New Zealand Brass Band Championships for 2016 coming to you live from Napier, waiting for the Prater bands to start. We've got a couple of dignitaries up on the truck. The truck in question is the one that slowed everything down at the start, but it's just over there to my left and your right, viewers, as Steve moves it across there, and hopefully the camera shots are looking good. I'm sure they will be. So we have a whole bunch of bands who will be playing. Unfortunately, we don't have a list of what music they will be playing, but with the powers of technology, we'll be able to add them in later on. I hope. I do have a list of the bands in the order they'll be coming down in. It's going to start with D grade, then C grade, A grade, and conclude with B grade. So the first band we're going to be seeing coming down will be Masterson Brass, and they'll of course be scored for drill and music. So drill is how good they look when they walk, and I think they also get scored on inspection, and that's how good they look before they start walking. So Mum, if you're watching and you still got no idea what I do, that's basically how it goes. The drill is how well they're in step, how shiny their uniforms are, how good they go around corners. A couple of speed bumps that we might get a zoom in of as well. I think there's 3 speed bumps on this very tricky obstacle course, because as we all know, walking is very difficult. Walking in time with other people is exceptionally more difficult, but put some massive speed bumps. They're huge. I reckon they probably go up almost 15 centimetres. Whew. It's going to be what's that show? Is it like American Ninja Warrior or something? Or Wipeout, something like that. We could see some action as they go over the speed bumps. Hopefully they don't go too fast. Of course, the very safe city of Napier has the speed bumps in place for a reason, and we do hope the bands adjust their marching tempos accordingly. So first band coming down will be Masterson Brass, followed by Mata Brass. I can't speak New Zealand accent real good. I'm from Australia. I do apologise for every single mispronunciation that I make, and there will be some. Hopefully you can forgive that. C grade we have Rotorua Brass, Nelson City Brass, Howick Brass, Leven and Districts Brass, as well as Te Auamatu Brass. And we have heard all of C grade, and we heard B grade as well live this morning, sitting down playing inside, because at this contest bands have to sit down and play on stage, and they play some selected music, so they all have to play the same piece. So you can have a direct comparison as to how good they sound. For the adjudicator, Dr. Bob Childs is the man who's been adjudicating inside so far. We still haven't started yet, which concerns me a little bit because I've only got so much battery time. So if the live stream is working out to you, hello and welcome. Oh, I hear music. I hear some music. I think it must be Masterson Brass coming out. And I think we'll just step to the side and I can tell you a little bit about Masterson Brass. I can tell you that their drum major is Brian Castle. And I can tell you they're staying at the Criterion Hotel. But I can't actually tell you what they're playing. So I'm not sure if you can hear that off into the distance, loyal viewers, but it's the sonorous sounds of a brass band coming around the corner. This is going to be a right wheel over the speed bump, American Ninja Warrior style. Looking good so far. Everyone's upright. A few pedestrians are braving the brass band going across in front. So hopefully we can see and hear that all okay. You'll see the drum major there holding the stick up. That stick is a mace, and that helps the band know what's going on, because obviously he can't turn around and yell at them. He waves the stick around. So he's got the stick out in his right hand, across to the left hand. That must mean speed bump ahead. And they're on the speed bump now. Looks like they're completing that one safely. And the crowd is going wild. The applause is deafening. We've got one person clapping up there, enjoying what the band's doing, and hopefully some more applause comes any second now. The atmosphere in Napier is obviously electric. People loving the brass bands and loving the trombone. Hear that blatting itself out? I say that in the kindest way. As we see Masterson Districts Brass. Their musical director, Robert Priday. Drum major, Brian Castle. The first band here today. And we'll see, they're walking past the truck that held us up. Will they fit in between? Yes, they will, no trouble at all. And you'll see the drum major saluting Evan Sayer, President of the Brass Bands Association of New Zealand, as well as the Mayor of Napier. And a big shout out to the Japanese girl playing on euphonium. I believe her parents are watching from Japan. It's great to have her here. And you'll notice, loyal viewers, wherever you're tuning in from, hello to those watching via 4 Bars Rest, that they're doing a pretty good job of being in step and in time. Looking nice. I like the red stripe on the pants as well. As I said, we're not... Hello, loyal viewers. We're not sure if we're streaming it and how much is getting out, but it doesn't really matter because it's all going up onto YouTube later on. The next band coming down will be the second band in D grade, Mata Mata Brass. Their drum major, Elijah Evans. Sounding terrific. I always love the sound of trombones on the march. Of course, loyal viewers, future viewers, I think the stream isn't working as well as we might have hoped, but that's okay because we are recording. So this will be up on YouTube later on this afternoon as band number 2, the second and final D grade on the march today. Mata Mata Brass makes its way past. Looking very nicely in step. Drum major with the mace in the left hand about to salute. Just gives the casual nod, no need to salute there. Looking great, looking terrific, well done Mata Mata Brass. Doing a great job in the open D grade here on the Parade of Bands. Into the distance, did you notice some very short musicians, some very young players in that band there, which is terrific to see. According to my program, that concludes the D grade bands going past. Next up, we should be moving into C grade, although I believe there is a third D grade band who are competing, but they're not marching today. That's what I think is going on, but I could be completely wrong. I do apologise once again, I don't have a list of the music that they're playing, but due to technology and the fact that you'll most likely be watching this in the future, loyal viewers, we'll add the program beneath the video player. Next band will be band number 3, Rotorua Brass. And we have a sousaphone on the march. Sousaphone, of course, is a tuba that faces forwards for a bit more power. And I think, hopefully you can hear that. A little bit more bass sound coming down than we've heard from the previous 2 bands. We are hoping to see some drum majors have a bit of a mace toss, throw it up in the air and catch it again. Filled with peril, that manoeuvre, but sometimes we do get a brave drum major who's happy to give it a whirl, literally. This is Rotorua Brass on their way past with their drum major Tamati Puffy. Rotorua, of course, was the host band for last year's New Zealand Band Championships for 2015. Great to see them out here on the march doing a great job. Doing a terrific job so far. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tim from Brass Band. It's our pleasure to be live broadcasting this to you. Maybe. We're not sure if we're live or not. Technology isn't really being our friend out here on the street with the 4G. But loyal viewer, if you're not watching this live, then you're watching this in the future. Hello to the future. Hello from Napier in 2016 in July. Hello to the future. Whatever the date is that you're watching, we are witnessing the spectacle that is the Parade of Bands at the New Zealand National Band Championships for 2016, coming to you live from the lovely town of Napier. And we're about to have the second band in C grade come down. We just heard Rotorua go past. Next up we have Nelson City Brass. Nelson City sounded terrific on stage this morning. I heard their hymn and it was absolutely outstanding. I can hear some soprano wailing away there. Nice to hear. Of course, Nigel Weeks is taking the band as conductor and musical director for this contest. And we'll see their drum major, the man with the mace out the front for this band, will be Andrew Clark. I don't think we have any... Oh yes, we do. We will have Yvonne Cullen representing the ladies, drum majoring, coming along a little bit later, which is excellent to see. Looking very nicely in step, Nelson City Brass, and sounding terrific on soprano there as well, as is the rest of the band. Nelson City Brass doing a terrific job in step, in time, in line, everything you could want from a band on the march. About to hurdle the second speed bump here. Nothing can stop this band on a mission. Quite a long march here today, I've been told, but I was told that by a cornet player, soprano cornet player, and we know they don't have much stamina anyway, so it could just be a normal length march, hard to tell. Next band we'll be hearing from will be Howick Brass, band number 5 on the march, and their drum major is also their musical director, the man of many talents, Mr. Luke Christensen. That looks like a nice wheel around the corner there. It's always interesting to listen to bands on the march. Bands have a different interpretation of what they should be doing, because a lot of bands are saving their chops. They don't want to play too hard and blow themselves out before the rest of the contest takes place. But some bands really go for it quite hard, and it's always spectacular to hear some trombones playing as the forward-facing bells go in the very front rank across. It'll be interesting, of course, to hear the A grades later on. The A grades have not yet taken to the contest stage today, so they have to play on the march, then they get a break. They'll probably go rehearse, then be on stage around about 6:30 p.m. Of course, future viewers, that doesn't mean much to you, because 6:30 p.m. is probably already passed in whatever year you're watching from. If you are watching from the future, please write a comment under the video about what new technology has been invented. Have we discovered aliens yet? Any cures for the common cold? Because of course this will remain up on YouTube for the next probably 1,000 years, thanks to Google's archiving policy. Howick Brass, looking stunning. Red jackets, I think they're wearing some white gloves as well, and the golden tassels, particularly across the drum major's jacket, quite striking. Nice to hear some dynamics on the march as well. I think this is the first band we've really heard a loud and a soft from so far. Definitely a band who know how to march. Back Brass, my favourite band that we've seen and heard so far. Of course, it's dangerous saying things like that on a recording, because no doubt by the time this goes to air there will be a winner and a loser, and it'll be proven that my opinion is completely invalid as to what happens. Hi, my name's Tim from Brass Band. Thank you for joining us on this live broadcast, and thank you future viewers for watching this fantastic recording that's up on YouTube. We have another band on our way just behind us here. It'll be band number 4 in the C grade section and band number 6 all up. Leven and Districts Brass. Looking forward to hearing and seeing them. They're bringing out the green jackets. Looking mighty fun. Very Christmassy there. I see a bit of a red sash across the drum major's jacket. And I see another sousaphone. Interestingly, in Australia, I believe it's against the rules to march with a sousaphone in the march. That could be completely wrong, though. Obviously, it's not against the rules here in New Zealand, which I think is good because the tuba is a little bit difficult to march with sometimes. Especially if you don't have a strap. Tip for young players, always have a strap if you're marching with a tuba. Unless you're really strong. Leven and Districts Brass are directed by their musical director, Colin Honey, and their drum major, the man looking a little bit like a Christmas tree out the front there, Steve Lawton. And they're staying at the Ace High Motor Inn. But I can't tell you the name of this march. Once again showing my ignorance, blissfully, because I probably should know by listening what they're playing. Interesting, as they come past the truck here, they've really got to tuck in or that sousaphone's going to get taken off. It's a dangerous obstacle course, this one. Some very tidy playing there. Looking terrific on the march, Leven and Districts Brass. Next band up will be Tiawamutu Brass, the last band in C grade, marching here, and band number 7 overall. Following this will be into the A grade marches. Very exciting times here in the lovely town of Napier for the 2016 New Zealand National Brass Band Championships. Hi, I'm Tim from Brass Band, BRASSBANNED. Ha ha ha. Yes, not spelt like Brass Band. And we're doing some live streaming here today. We're trying to live stream. If it's not working, we're recording. Future viewers, that's for you. Do type in and tell us what it's like in the future on the comments just below. Now, I think the next band is just on its way down behind me in their stunning burgundy jackets. I say burgundy because I'm potentially colourblind, who knows. Very dark red anyway, with a bit of bright red on the edge. Looks like they've borrowed a player to make up their tuba section. And it should be worth mentioning that the march route does get very narrow, probably much narrower than expected for many of the bands. So bands march in different numbers of ranks and files, so that's across the front and down the side, different numbers of columns and rows, if you will. And some of the bands might have to just had to rejiggle exactly how they were going to set up. So they probably practiced one thing, maybe they've had to come down to 4 ranks and or files instead of 5 and put a few more on the back. So some very adaptable and versatile brass bands here, including the next one coming past. And we're joined now for a special guest comment. Phil, how you going?
Yeah, good, Tim. Yourself?
Yeah, really well.
Yeah. It's a nice day for it, isn't it?
Well, it's not raining. Well, it's a good day in my books.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it's a great spectacle for the crowds and whatnot, so yeah.
Who's your favourite one you've seen so far?
Well, I was really impressed with Howick.
Yeah, looking good.
No, the C grade, no music, and the drum major will look very British actually. Yes, I suppose. Yeah, very good.
These guys sounding pretty good as well.
Tiawamutu, fantastic.
Phil Johnston having a chat with us here on potentially the live stream, or perhaps it's the recording, depends how you're watching this and when it is. But it's great to be broadcasting this to you one way or the other. If you are watching this live, we will be back at about 5:30 p.m. local time in New Zealand. So that's in about 3 and a bit hours. And we'll be showing a bit more of the B grade than the open A grade, as we have the first of the B grade bands coming down. No, first of the A grade bands. Ladies and gentlemen, North Shore Brass. We are very excited to have them coming down. Now, this A grade band take playing on stage very, very seriously. They've yet to do so. So they've got to contend with a street march. The cornet players have to make sure they don't bust their chops. So probably the A grades won't be quite going for it as much as they would have if they'd already played on stage. Difficult way to warm up for A grade, but North Shore Brass are a fine ensemble. Of course, Colin Clark is the musical director of North Shore Brass, and Craig Rhodes is the drum major. And a shout out to Andrew Leach. If you're watching this, Andrew, live and or on recording, hope you're feeling well. Hope things are progressing nicely for you. And you'll see North Shore having to come quite tightly together to make it past the truck here. Doing it in style. That's North Shore, the first of our A-grade bands going past. Phil Johnson, we just had a chat with, of course, winner of the Invitational Slow Melody and runner-up in the Champion of Champions. He mentioned before how impressed he was with Howick in the C-grade, playing without music. There you go, an A-grade band needing the music to play along with, but fair enough, I think they were concentrating on other things, like their on-stage playing, as mentioned. The next band coming down will be Wellington Brass. I hear they've got a brand new arrangement of a piece, and I think they're going the wrong way. There you go, they've got a bit of an interesting change of direction going on up there. I don't think they get any extra points for being interesting in their change of direction. Is that Ghostbusters? We're hearing some Ghostbusters, and the crowd is really going wild for Ghostbusters. Of course, Wellington Brass are heading across to the British Open later this year, and we wish them all the best with that. We are actually hoping to get across and live stream that as well. And hear that sound. That's some nice bass trombone coming across there. Ghostbusters. Some slick trombone playing there. Very enjoyable. I believe Byron Newton was the arranger of this work, but I could be wrong with that. Big band sound from Wellington. They're giving it something. In step as well, straight lines. They're not going to have a problem getting past the truck. They're a band going places. And I think we're going to focus on the sign holder, just see how long he can keep that dancing up for. Terrific there from Wellington. course, brass bands have a history of playing popular tunes on the march. It just so happens that the popular tunes have changed over the past 150 or so years. So some of the bands still quite traditionally play what was popular back in, the 1890s, and other bands are a bit more progressive and playing is what is popular, in the late 1980s, I guess, when Ghostbusters came out. So great to hear all sorts of music here on the Parade of Bands, the Street March here at the New Zealand National Brass Band Championships for 2016. Next band coming down will be Waitakere Auckland Brass, whom we're very much looking forward to listening to. If you're just joining us for the first time on the live stream and or you've just jumped into the recording partway through, hello and welcome. My name's Tim from Brass Band, and it's our pleasure to be broadcasting this to you, either live or on demand. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. We're here in New Zealand in the lovely town of Napier at the world's best run brass band contest. That's what they're calling it, the New Zealand National Brass Band Championships. And I think we can hear Waitakere in the distance there, quite loud, whatever they're playing. Interesting to see what this is going to be on the way past. I should mention, of course, for Wellington Brass, their musical director, Dave Bremner, and their drum major was John Hinton. Waitakere Auckland Brass musical director for this contest is Howard Taylor, and Mike Chestnut drum majoring. Waitakere coming down. Hopefully you can see them okay. It's final countdown. Is it? Or is it Rocky? Some impressive bass trombones coming out. Loving the colour of the jackets. Waitakere Auckland Brass. Nice percussive work there. Waitakere Auckland Brass getting stronger here on the march. Fabulous to see all the bands here today on the march. Of course, if you've never been in person to a Parade of Bands, it's really, I don't know if this recording and or live stream will be doing it justice. You should really get down to see your next brass band event, whenever that is. Of course, if you're watching this and you're considering coming along to the next New Zealand National Band Championships, they will actually be the weekend after Easter 2017 in Wellington. Of course, that'll be the weekend after the Australian National Band Championships. So if you're a hardcore brass band groupie, as I know you must be to have watched this far through the video, you could consider getting along to both. So you can be in Launceston for the Australian Championships, then catch a boat, catch a plane, however you want to get across to Wellington for the next contest. We have two more A-grade bands to go through. We've got Marlborough District Brass and Woolston Brass. Woolston Brass always put on a spectacular show on the Parade of Bands. Not to say that Marlborough District Brass don't. As we turn our way back around, we'll see Marlborough District's getting ready to go. I should mention, it's a bit disappointing, we haven't seen any mace flourishing yet. We'd like to see the maces thrown up and caught. Again, I haven't seen any of that yet, but maybe we will see a little bit more. Marlborough District coming down. Marlborough Musical director Kevin Mosley, drum major Dennis Teeling, and they're staying at Palm City Motor Inn, but I can't tell you what they're playing because I don't have that on my list. But we will have that written down beneath, don't worry. Should mention as well, if you are watching this on the live stream or the on-demand stream, we are running a competition. Prize for the most creative selfie with the live stream or the recording. If you can get it in by the end of this contest, so you've got until tomorrow night, we will announce the winner. They will get a brass band care package with the brass band cap, as you've been seeing here, a brass band t-shirt, a couple of brass band polishing cloths, as well as some tea towels and maybe even a tote bag. So most creative selfie you can get with the live stream. If you can get Steve or myself in that as well, you might get extra points, but do what you can to be creative with the live stream and or the recording of this. But you are on a ticking time limit to get those selfies in. You have to hashtag them with hashtag brassband or hashtag NZChamps2016, or you can send them via email awesome@brassband.com or Facebook. You can even have a go with Instagram, but I'm not very good with Instagram, so I might miss it. Marlborough District Brass. Some nice soft playing. Just say that again, just on the live. For everyone listening at home, we've got some information about some of the bands just gone past.
The young lady who was carrying the banner for North Shore Brass is one of our academy players, and she is all of 7. And if you're watching Waitakere, behind Waitakere, her sister, who is 9, is carrying Waitakere's banner. It just shows we're a great banding family in Auckland.
Great banding family here in New Zealand, full stop, as Marlborough District Brass come past. Marlborough District's Brass, led by their drum major Dennis Teeling, on their way past there. Next up we'll have the final A-grade band, Woolston Brass. Woolston are a very slick marching outfit. A lot of ladies and gentlemen from the New Zealand Army Band, I believe, play with Woolston, so they really know what they're doing when it comes to marching. Of course, a lot of the musicians here will be giving it their all on the Parade bands, and some will be saving their chops ever so slightly to make sure they've still got something left for later on tonight, especially those cornet players who are a bit soft when it comes to playing for a long time, especially those soprano cornet players. And here we go with Woolston, flanked by sousaphones either side. Couple of young kids in the middle of the road there, better look out. Some nice mace flourishing there, look at that. Well done there to the drum major of Woolston, Todd Turner. Woolston's looking quite wide as they come down, they're going to have to really squeeze in to get past the truck. Mighty Woolston on their way down, sounding terrific. Will be interesting to see how they can negotiate their way past the truck. They all squeeze in a little bit. That is Woolston Brass really putting on a show here on the march. Nicely topped off by the young lady carrying the sign and wearing the Nike backpack out the back. Just do it, Woolston Brass. That concludes the A-grade bands. Next we'll be going into the B-grade bands who've already played this morning. Band number 1 here in B-grade, Brass Wanganui. So a reminder once again, there is that special prize for the person who can get their best brass band live stream and or recording selfie to us by the conclusion of the competition. Of course, if you miss out on winning that prize, you can purchase some great stuff from our web shop. I can't quite pick what they're playing here at the moment. Sounded a bit of Daft Punk in there, but it doesn't anymore. Someone's arranged something and they've done a fine job there. As Brass Wanganui come through, led by their drum major Gordon Renui. Again, I apologise for all of my terrible pronunciation. I'm trying my best, I promise. Looking great, looking very much in line. Making a very nice sound for a B-grade band. Wanganui doing a spectacular job on the way past. Ladies and gentlemen, do hope you are enjoying this live broadcast. Of course, we're not 100% sure if we are broadcasting live or just recording this for later. Either way, it's great to have your pleasure, your company here as we make our way through the B-grade bands. Trustpororua City Brass will be the next band we see coming down. Now, of course, a Parade of Bands, a march, is a scored competition, and you can get points for how well you play your music, how well you march in line, so how well in step, how well spaced you are, and how good looking your uniforms are. There's also an inspection section right at the start, so we don't see the inspection, but before the bands set up or step off, they get themselves all arranged nicely, and the drum major has the job of making sure that everyone isn't standing in the right spot, which is an art in itself, which is why there's a Champion Drum Majors Award for most competitions. Quite a nice flag being held up at the back there as well. First time we've seen that. Drum majors have all done an excellent job, I think, so far. But we still haven't seen much of the mace throwing. So, big stick, the lady or gentleman at the front carries, is twirled this way and that to let the band know what's coming up next. And the more adventurous and the more coordinated drum majors often throw them up in the air to impress the crowds. The crowds here are very impressed with what they're seeing and hearing as it is. City Brass making their way past, sounding absolutely terrific. Unfortunately, I can't tell you the names of the marches right now, because I don't have a list of them, and I'm not quite smart enough to work it out by listening. But everyone is sounding fantastic. Hello to everyone joining us on the live stream. Apologies if that's been cutting out a little bit. The 4G network here hasn't been great, but don't worry. We have been here recording everything, and it'll be going up onto YouTube very, very shortly. Hi, my name's Tim from Brass Band, and it's great to have your company here on this live stream and or YouTube recording. A reminder, of course, that you can win a special Brass Band care pack by taking your very best selfie. We need to see the live stream and you in it all at the same time. So now is a great time for that. We're coming towards the end of the Parade of Bands. For those live viewers who are joining us for the first time, we've been going here for about an hour. We did have a bit of a late start due to a truck being parked in the wrong spot, and we've had a few internet connection issues, but that was always a little bit expected. It's a best effort live stream out here today with the 4G conditions. Everything is recorded for this street march and will be uploaded to YouTube. We choose to believe we're not infringing on copyright by doing that. If you do feel infringed upon, let us know. Some nice mace twirling there. Oh, and a little mace toss left to right. This is my favourite band so far, Eastern Bay of Plenty Brass. Also one of the front runners from what I heard today in Open B grade to be taking out the competition. Chris Lawrence is the drum major for Eastern Bay of Plenty, musical director Alan Spence. Eastern Bay of Plenty looking very sun-smart on the Parade of Bands. Sounding terrific, and that was another mace toss I think we saw up the front there. Doing a terrific job. Best drum major we have seen so far, in my opinion, which is quite uneducated. I do apologise, loyal viewers. We have 6 more bands to go here in the Parade of Bands, the 2016 New Zealand National Brass Band Championships, coming to you live from Napier. As I stand with the sun directly behind me, you probably can't see very much, but luckily Stunning Steve on camera is doing a terrific job making sure everything's looking very good. We're really enjoying broadcasting this to you. Hopefully you're really enjoying watching the broadcast and or recording. I do hope you are tweeting in hashtag NZChamps2016, hashtag Brass Band, or commenting via Facebook as to what's going on. As we come back around, we see the next band. Oh, look at that. It's a couple of concentric circles for the change of direction for the next band that we're seeing. That band, of course, is Palmerston North Brass. Very impressive stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, do apologise. It looks like the first part of this march didn't get broadcast out. Don't worry, it's all recorded. It'll be up on YouTube very, very soon. Thank you for your patience. Aren't you lovely and loyal viewers out there on the internet? It's also quite windy here, so we do apologise for any camera shakiness which might be going on and any of that wind hiss in the microphones. Luckily, it's quite warm. Able to wear my brass band t-shirt proudly. Palmerston North Brass. Looking terrific, playing from memory, all in step. Drum major doing a nice flourish just as they get up to where the mayor and president of the Brass Band Association of New Zealand are standing on that truck which was in the way. looking terrific as they come past. Blue jackets, fantastic uniform. Of course, Palmerston North not long ago finished playing on stage, and if you did miss their performance, we are doing a time-shifted live stream of that at about 5:30 p.m, so do join us once again for that live streaming to hear from Napier in New Zealand, having a great time doing it. We have 5 bands left to go. I believe the next one will be Addington Brass. Addington sounded terrific, I thought, today on stage, and I have no doubt they'll sound equally terrific out here on the march. All the viewers watching at home are live viewers from what you've seen. Who's been your favourite? And future viewers watching this on YouTube, which of course will be you live viewers again to see the bands that you might have missed. Who's your favourite band? Do type in and let us know. Comment down the bottom if you would on the video when it's on YouTube, or you can comment via Facebook and or Twitter live if you're watching. My name's Tim from Brass Band. Absolute pleasure to be broadcasting to you, and we can hear Addington just behind me. St. Louis Blues being played by Addington. And some nice drum breaks and some nice moves there. Up and down, they're dancing their way down the street here, looking terrific. Good on them. That's terrific work. And Drum Major's poised. Is he going to toss that mace up? What's about to happen? I'm getting excited. Are you getting excited, viewers at home, wherever you're watching this from? It's up. What does that mean? Are they going to stop? No. Secret sign of the mace and the drum major. Addington marching off into the distance. How good was that? Bit of St. Louis Blues mixed in with something a bit more traditional. And as you notice in the St. Louis Blues, they were bopping around with their instruments very in time and together. Terrific work there. Quite difficult to win or to be the first place band in a parade of bands. There's a lot that's got to go on. You have to play really, really nicely musically. You have to march together, and you have to look really good as well. So sometimes bands think, oh yeah, no, we're just going to sit on stage and play really well. It doesn't really matter what we look like. Not so much the case when it's a parade of bands. You also have to look the part, and luckily Brass Band is here trying to look the part as we broadcast this to you live. It's a great pleasure to be doing so. Hot tip where we should be having pretty good audio and very nice vision at the moment, although probably not quite as good as we had in the hall. So do try and watch this up on your big TV with your big speakers. You should be getting it quite nicely. You might be getting me talking out of the left channel and the music coming out of the right channel. Not to worry, we'll fix that up in post, and we will have a recorded version of this live stream up on YouTube in the next couple of hours. That'll be the complete stream. So future viewers watching on YouTube, how's the technology there in the future? And live viewers, don't worry if you missed out on part of it due to some poor network connections here. We do thank you for your support of this free service. Free, of course, thanks to ABI Music, who are sponsoring all of the live streaming at the New Zealand National Brass Band Championships for 2016. Hutt City Brass, the fourth last band coming down towards us. I can tell you that Hutt City Brass is led by drum major Andrew Stewart, and they're staying at the Fern Motel. Hutt City Brass, sounding terrific. On their uniforms it says Titan. Don't know who Titan is, but they sound like titans as they march down, playing and sounding really, really nice indeed. Now, loyal viewers, we've just had word, if you are watching this live, we will be doing a complete rebroadcast starting from 4:30 p.m. local time. So at 4:30 p.m. we will be rebroadcasting the Parade of Bands. Then at 5:30 p.m. we will be going into a couple of time-shifted B-grade performances, then at 6:30 into the open A-grade sections. This next band, Hamilton City Brass, one of the best on-stage bands. Looks like they're marching with side drums there, or perhaps tenor drums. A little bit different for a brass band on the march, but great to see. I love the uniform, red and blue. Now, if you are watching this, it could be a great time to take a live stream and or recorded selfie. Hashtag it brassband on Twitter. Or email it to awesome@brassband.com. Best selfie wins a brass band care package. We think this might be Ravenswood they're marching down to, but having committed to saying that now, we'll probably be wrong. Hamilton City Brass, led by their drum major Malcolm Barr, and the musical director is Glenn Richards. Looking great on the march, doing a terrific job. Congratulations to Hamilton City Brass. Hamilton City Brass marching off into the sunset, into the distance. They've got the rest of the afternoon off, so I'm sure they're going to go have a nice long lunch and a bit of a relax. But we will be hearing them once again tomorrow on stage as they play through their own choice works. So ladies and gentlemen, if you are joining us on the live stream here, make sure you tune back in tomorrow morning for more of the open B grade playing their own choice selections. We also have the open A grades playing later on tonight with the open own choice A grade selections. And I did mention before we will be rebroadcasting this entire street march at 4:30 p.m, then going into at 5:30 p.m. a rebroadcast of the final two B-grade bands on stage whom we were unable to stream live this morning. We'll do a time-shifted live stream of them instead. Then at 6:30 open A-grade. As we turn around and back into the distance, we can see the next band coming up, Devon Hotel New Plymouth Brass, one of those two bands we were unable to live stream live on stage as we had to come out here and set up. So it's been non-stop fun and action here today. We had to have a little bit of a pause because you'll see the saluting dais just to the left of your screen there, that back of the big truck. The truck was actually is still parked a little bit out from the footpath and right opposite a little traffic island. As you can see, it just juts out there, a little nature strip with a tree on it. Means the bands have to scrunch up a little bit. They were hoping to get the driver back to move that truck, so we did wait around for about 15 or 20 minutes at the very start. but unfortunately that truck was unable to be moved, but luckily the bands are flexible enough to not crash into it. Well, you do have to be careful because those right markers are quite often tuba players who could be heading anywhere at all. The Devon Hotel, New Plymouth Brass. Amanda Bolland is the drum major here, although in the program she is spelt Anamda. I'm pretty sure it's Amanda. Looking great. And did you hear the class there of Trevor Bremner playing cornet up the back there? Not often do you hear cornets playing sweetly on a march with that tasty little bit of vibrato up the top, but we heard it just then. So we have the last band, I think, coming down here on the parade of bands. The home band, the band everyone has been waiting for, Deco Bay Brass. Of course, they have to negotiate the speed bumps, which can be a little bit difficult, but looks like they're doing a fine job as they change direction around there. We've had a great time so far in Napier here at the 2016 New Zealand Brass Band Championships. The best organised brass band contest in the world is what they're calling it, as we enjoy the lovely New Zealand sunshine. So far we've heard D grade, C grade, A grade, and this is the last of the B grade bands on the parade of bands. If you're enjoying what you're seeing and hearing, please tune into the live stream later on this evening. We'll be rebroadcasting this entire parade of bands at about 4:30 p.m. local time, before moving into the two open B grade performances, then the open A grade performances at 6:30 p.m. local Napier time. I do have to just comment on the fabulous beanie that's being worn by one of the adjudicators there. Absolutely terrific. Deco Bay Brass. Saluting the Mayor and President of the Brass Bands Association of New Zealand. Standing up there on the truck. Deco Bay Brass, and that is very definitely Army of the Nile with some outrageous corneting going on that I do hope you can hear. Hi, my name's Sim from Brass Band. It's been my pleasure to be live broadcasting this to you. Do apologise if the start was a little bit choppy on the live stream. We've had some intermittent internet connections out here, but don't worry, everything is recorded and will be live broadcast again, rebroadcast in about an hour and a half from now. So if you wait for that, you'll get to see everyone from start to finish, and we've also recorded it and it'll be up on YouTube later on tonight, so do hope you can enjoy that, or do hope you are or have been enjoying either one of those two things. Thanks very much for tuning in. We're in Napier. It's the 2016 New Zealand National Brass Band Championships, and we're streaming again later on tonight, as I've just mentioned, and we're streaming once again tomorrow. We'll also be doing some live streams all the way through August. Brass Band's all about live streaming the very best brass band competitions right around the world. And we have a very busy August, actually, heading to the Victorian State Championships, New South Wales State Championships, the South Australian State Championships. We're heading everywhere, as well as coming back to New Zealand. We'll be in Gisborne for the Concert Band Festival in the first weekend of August. So do check out brassband.com for more information about what's going on. And don't forget, we do have the special prize available to a loyal viewer that can send the most creative live stream selfie, maybe now's a good time to try it. So I'm going to stand here and pose like this, and it's your chance to get it up on full screen, hopefully on your big TV. You'll just be standing on that side of me. You need to take a selfie. You need to get yourself and the stream in it all at once. Hashtag it Brassband. Send it to me via Facebook or email awesome@brassband.com. The very best live stream selfie that we get by the end of the contest will win a very special prize. So I hope you've got your cameras ready. Make sure the camera's facing the right way. I'm going to stand here like this for about 5 seconds. Did you get it? Did I blink? I'm so sorry if I blunked. It's not going to happen again. That's it for us. We're going to stop this live broadcast. We're going to stop the recording. We'll be back live with a rebroadcast of exactly what happened just here for anyone who missed the start of it in about 90 minutes' time. Thank you very much for tuning in.